Welcome back to part 3 of window styles. Firstly, if you want a window style, get in touch through the website and I can email it to you. Secondly, just this little idiosyncrasy with the window tag. Okay, now, as you know, we're very disciplined in how we use classes. So the window tag should be in window spec, okay, which basically means text. Window dotted shows you the handing of the casement. The line behind in blue you're seeing is because I've got the door one on. Now let's just look at this our friendly window, which is now styled, and of course it's got its shutters controlled by the window shutter class, which is fittings shutters. It's this arrowway wood thing rotated 90 degrees. And as I say, you can find different shutters. You can make your own. If you want to make your own, what you're going to have to do is go to Vectorworks libraries, go to defaults, window custom shutters. There you go. Window custom shutters. So what I've found, because of the way the thing works, and I know there's a whole thing about user folders and where things are. Make your shutter and put it in this folder. You can just open that with a right click, right? If you put your homemade shutter into that folder, you know, maybe you might want a metal one, in fact, put it in there, give it a name, and then the next time you go to choose the shutter, it will automatically find it. Choose the shutter through the settings dialog. It will find you. You know, you've got the option to use a symbol instead. All right, so that's the quickest way of doing it. When we set up the window style, here it is, window A and H. Okay, we made it so that the ID tag was a controllable offset, right? Because if I change that window size, I still want it to be in that position, right? So if I make it 1100, it's going to go. It's going to go over there. Okay, I'll just leave that like that. Okay. Most of these are doors. I mean, you can just have a look at the louvered window. I mean, this is in Kenya. Okay, it's single glazing all day long, which isn't ideal in climates above 2,000 meters above sea level. Okay, so I've made it into a style window, high level louver. Just want to show you. There's a bit of trigonometry to this, but what have I got? Blade spacing 125, blade angle 225, 2.5, blade thickness 9mm, louver depth 125, and it's a jalousie. Okay, and you'll see that the louver is in glazing frosty, and glazing frosty is texture glass frosted white is a Vectorworks standard. Now you'll notice window surgery is my saved view. I have a layer in my drawing often called surgery, and I have a layer called bin, so which I hope is self-explanatory. I'm playing around with my windows before I put them into the drawing, and I want to keep some in case, you know, I like that, but I'm not sure I'm going to use it. Oh, this one's got a trim. This is a door. We'll come on to doors another time. This is this rather pastiche building with its mock Tudor framing and all the rest of it. But yes, Win style, MFH, the job name, bars with bars. So sorry, it's the job name -1, which has muntins, what they call, you know, they're glazing bars. Then we did a sort of more modern one, which doesn't have bars, and to let the client choose. Of course, you know, here you're not a pane of glass. It's cheaper. It's cheap. These are simple metal windows. Any Fundi workshop, local village workshop, will make them up. They'd be nicely done. And so the smaller the pieces of glass, the cheaper it is. You want to get into, you know, 2 meter by 1 meter pieces of laminate glass in Kenya from Mombasa. You know, why? And change that, replaced with choose the style. I've got a style for a round window as well. Of course you can do that. Round windows are fixed glazing, they don't open in Vectorworks. It was a bit of a shame actually. I'd like a centre pivot, but so if I change it to plane, Hey, all those hideous glazing bars go away. Let's undo that because I want to come on to the issue of reveals finally. This is a typical kind of what do you call it? Vernacular. It's a vernacular style of a solid block wall. It's got a stone-clad wainscot on the outside with some of these, typical sort of East African colours. Very nice, vibrant orange and pink, and beautiful colours. And a stone sill on window board, rather, concrete sill, and a window board there. Now you'll see the lining. There's the internal reveal is lined with plaster, and the external reveal is lined with render. There's absolutely typical detail because when they build these things, it was sort of traditional solid wall construction. To fix the window, they absolutely ruin the jamb, smashing it with hammers and all the rest of it, and then it's all patched up with render. So you need this kind of facing case. This isn't a plugin. This is a symbol, and it does have a window number. The problem is that if I do whereas I can do a database header window schedule, which will give me all the windows in the model. If it's in a symbol and I do that, it's only going to give me the window in the symbol. So it's going to give me one type, which I think is fine, because what you get on the schedule is not a whole bunch of exhaustive list of the number of windows, but you get each window type. You can figure this out. It works, so long as that is on the schedule, right? Which it is. Where are we? Here we go. Sorry. It is on the schedule. It will be counted, but it'll only be counted in the instance of the symbol, right? So I've got so there it is. So what have I done? I mean, so that's your lintel, okay? Because it's included with the window, and the lintel. We're going to have a look at those parameters very quickly. Include lintel, thickness 150, internal protrusion and external protrusion, and you'll have to play around with that, and you can see what happens if the protrusion and the internal and external protrusions are too big, then they stick out from the wall. So all I've done, I've added my window board in what's called Nairobi blue stone. This is an extrusion, alright, and then I've added in clad plaster or wall internal finish, whatever you like, another simple extrusion that does the reveals. Okay. Of course, if the window size changes, bit of a bore, but it only takes a second, a couple of seconds to change it. I mean, it's easy to change it if you really want to. If the wall thickness was to change, we just change the height of those in 97 to 47 ping. So it's not a big deal. But if you're doing a kind of presentation model visualization, I've got to have it. I can't be having the masonry unit structural component of the wall showing in my model. And on the outside, I wanted an apron. If you don't know what an apron is, look it up. It helps draw the rainwater away and stop staining. The Georgians did it in brickwork very beautifully. And a window head, kind of, yes, what do you call it? Trabeated motif to basically to hide the lintel. And that's all done. It's a solid addition, exactly the same way. Just an extrude, there it is. It's just an extrude, 15mm bit of lining that goes into the reveal. So if you make a change to the size, then you will need to change the size of the 3D wall hole component. which is kind of this is what cuts the hole, and you'll see that I have the hole down to the underside of the windowsill. It doesn't particularly matter what class it's in, but I will try and keep it in class window main. And don't forget it has a depth, because it's got to make the hole all the way through the window. In fact, if you want a blind niche, then you'd make that the depth of the niche that you want. It's an extrude. If you want to change the size of it, then it's probably better to go into the edit of the rectangle and change the sizes here. So, you know, if I've changed from an 1100 wide window to a 900 wide window, then this just simply reduces by 200, okay? So you can go in the center and make it from 1080 to 880. So I hope that's helpful. This project is on our YouTube channel. It's the Hotel Rustique in Newquay. Thank you for watching. We'll go on to tutorial 12, which will be about doors, and a lot of this will carry through that tutorial as well. Thanks.